Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of On the Couch with Fouch. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're watching on Facebook, you can hit like, comment, you can share, anything like that. It just helps us spread the word about interviews with your favorite gospel music artists. Today I have the great opportunity of doing an interview with Adam and Michaela Brown. They are with the Browns and they are out of
Lamar's, Iowa.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, Matt.
Yeah, man, I'm so glad that you guys were able to join me. We're at the National Quartet Convention, so have the opportunity to meet up with these guys. We actually don't see you guys
Not
a lot during
The
the
last
year.
time we saw you was Wisconsin. It was probably 6 months ago.
Right, and that
So-
was for at the Dells, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
at the Dells.
So, I mean, one time this year, I think it's been until here. So, I love to be able to catch up with people that we don't see in concert very often throughout the year. So, give me a little background, and maybe some of the viewers watching haven't heard y'all before in concert. So, give them an idea of the Browns and the history and the family and everything.
Right. Well, we are the Browns, and we're from Lamar's, Iowa, which is the ice cream capital of the world, home of Wells Blue Bunny ice cream. And we are a family, and my brother and Adam and myself, and then we sing with our mom, Shelly, and brother Andrew, and then our dad drives the bus. And so that makes up the Browns, and we've been singing now for about 16 years. We started in the year 2000. So, yeah, we were really, really young when we started.
Right, exactly. And you have another sibling?
Yes, we do. Yes, Jessica Trammell is our oldest sister, Jessica Brown Trammell, and she is married to Nick Trammell, so with the Mark Trammell Quartet.
Now, does she still? I know in the past she did sing with you guys. Does she still sing with you on occasion? Or?
On occasion, yes. We will fly her up for special events in our theater, or like if we're close by, we'll have her come up and sing. So
Very
yeah.
cool. So you mentioned the theater, and when I saw you guys post that on social media, I thought that was the coolest idea ever. So who wants to tell the people about the theater you guys are doing there in
Sure,
Iowa?
I can tell about it. Well, of course, we travel full-time all over the United States, and we kind of had the opportunity this past year to buy a 100-year-old bank building in our hometown of Lamar's, right there on Central Avenue downtown, and turn it into a state-of-the-art music theater. And so it's just the Browns right now. We do about 1 week in a month there. And then we're doing 25 Christmas shows there this year. So we're not traveling anywhere.
No.
So if you want to see our Christmas show, you got to come to the theater.
And
But-
you're starting in October, right?
yeah, well, just about. No, we're starting in November, so
Okay.
close enough. But we kind of got the theater bug, as you call it. We did a show in Branson, Missouri years ago, and so we really liked that aspect. So we're going to do about 50 concerts there in our theater a year, and then travel about 100 all across the United States while we're not in our theater. So it's a good mix. We'll be able to stay home a little more, spend time with family, and just be in our home area, which we really appreciate.
I absolutely love the theater idea and what you guys did with the remodel on that. How long did that remodel take?
Well, we bought the bank building, we signed the papers the end of August last year. We had our first Christmas show in there, was it December
December
2nd? And it not only was it a remodel, it was a restoration. The building is 100 years old. There's marble all throughout the one wall that was 7 foot tall, about 80 foot long. There's box ceilings that were all plaster, that were all cracked and just ruined, that we had to refurbish. And then there's hand-painted stenciling all on the ceiling that we fixed and redid. So it took a lot of work. We had the ribbon cutting. We actually sang in Wisconsin. Michigan. Drove back all night, had the ribbon cutting for the theater to open it up while they were loading all the saws and the tools out of the back door because they just had finished, and hung the speakers and the lights and all that stuff. And then that night we had our first Christmas show and did 15, and they all sold out. So
Wow.
it was worth it.
Now, do you find, and I don't want to spend all the time talking about the theater, but I just love it. Do you find that a lot of the people that come to that are locals? Are they from, just from the state? Are they from out of town bus groups? I mean, what's the draw? Who's your audience there?
Lamar's, because it is the ice cream capital of the world, it does have a lot of tourists, about 250,000 that come through every year. And so we already have a lot of people coming through anyway. But and then people have come over the year, that we see on the road from all over California, Illinois, all over the place.
We've had people there
Canada.
from Tokyo, Japan already,
Yep.
and Russia.
We had a group from Russia.
Wow.
It's like,
And then
wow.
this
So-
Christmas, we have already 18 bus tours booked for the shows. So yeah, we're
Wow.
getting a lot of wonderful response. So
Yeah,
it just blows our
I mean,
minds.
I would think that there's, if you market that correctly, and especially with the ice cream thing and all that, I think that would be a very neat thing and attractive thing
It
for
is.
people to go to,
And-
especially Christmas,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
Lamar's is a small, quaint town, about 12,000 people. And so the downtown has all kinds of fun shops and stuff. So there's a lot to do. Of course, now there's the theater there. There's ice cream parlor. And, I'd say our main draw is within about a 3-hour radius. But being singing out all over the place, we see people coming from everywhere, all over the country.
That's really
so that's
cool.
fun to see. Really
That's
neat.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know you guys. I know that you guys are farmers. I don't think you've mentioned that yet, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
we grew up on the farm.
okay.
Yeah.
So David Smith has a question, and thank you, David, for your
Hello,
question.
David.
Yeah, hi, David.
He wants to know: are you still active on the family farm? Because you're mentioning a lot of we tour all over the country, we do the theater and everything. So, is there time to be on the farm?
Yes, there is, because Andrew and I flew in late last night. We sing tonight on stage here, and then we fly out at 6 a.m. in the morning to be back on the farm to harvest.
Harvest
Wow.
just started.
Yeah, so it's like-
Yeah, Dad is in the field.
18-hour days, so it's like you get off the bus. It's not just hang around all week. It's like you're in the tractor or the combine or whatever we need to do to bring in the crop.
Yep.
So, yeah, so we still are very active in the farm.
Very cool. We were talking earlier about cooking.
Yes.
And you do an article for
The Singy News.
And what's that called?
It's called For the Love of Cooking. Every month I have a couple recipes in there, and sometimes I ask different artists to send in the recipes. So, that's been a lot of fun. 5 years now I've been doing it, so blows my mind.
That is actually longer than I thought it was.
I know, yeah, same here.
And what would you say has been the most popular recipe you've put
Ooh,
you've put
that's a good
into that so
question.
far?
Well, maybe instead of the most popular recipe, I've heard people say that it's the most popular page that they go to. That's the first one they go to, and they get this Singy News.
All the women want to go see what
Yeah,
recipe
yeah,
they can try
exactly.
this month.
It's true. A lot of people say I turn right
It's
to
the
the
first
recipe.
one.
Okay, so has somebody ever brought you a recipe that they have cooked or made from
Yes,
that?
they at one time we were at an event with a lot of people. It was like, Gloria Gaither. We just did their in the studio thing, and they picked my recipes out of the stuff that I do, and then they served it to everyone who came to the concert.
Wow.
And they
Yeah.
said this is a Michaela
Yeah, this
Brown
is my
recipe out of her
recipe.
cookbook and off of her website.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
The
Was
pressure
it,
was on.
Was it up to par?
It was very good. It
Okay,
was-
so
yeah,
they did
it
a
was
good job.
excellent. It was
Excellent.
excellent.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Actually, Ruth Hebert had a question on the whole cooking thing.
All right.
And this is for you,
Okay.
Michaela. She wants to know if you had to choose between cooking and singing, which would you choose?
Oh, singing hands down.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always said that. Like singing, music is my passion, but cooking was always a dream of mine, something I love to do. But yeah, definitely, the music.
Okay. Well, off of the cooking thing, I think that's cool as well. Adam, this next question is for you.
Oh boy.
Brandon Bennett wants to know what's the most embarrassing moment that you have had on stage?
Oh, all right, Brandon. Well, probably the
I guess maybe you wouldn't even have to share maybe on yourself, maybe on someone else that's
Oh,
on stage with you,
thanks.
Well,
if you wanted to.
now I would share about my sister here, Michaela, but she's a princess and she doesn't make mistakes.
Oh.
Thank you.
Honestly, I could say I could think
Very
sit
nice.
here and think all day, and I couldn't think of anything that she's like done embarrassing on stage. But so here's one for you. So we were doing a Christmas concert years ago, and now I do all the emceeing. And then I was just getting started in it, and so I wasn't quite comfortable. And I would go down on this Christmas song and talk to somebody in the audience during the musical
Okay.
interlude, because that's kind of awkward when there's instruments playing and you're not playing anything. So I'd say, it was kind of a love Christmas song, so I said to a guy, hey, is this your wife next to you? And he goes, no, it's not my wife. I said, oh, is your wife here? No, my wife died 2 years ago.
Oh.
Into the mic. I was just like, can I crawl in a hole and die?
Yeah.
I felt so bad, but it was like,
Was that his date?
he didn't say who it was. It was like, no, it's not my wife. Oh, was your wife here?
So
No,
the one
she's-
time you picked the wrong guy, it
Yeah.
was a horrible.
That was really awkward.
So,
There you go, Brandon.
yeah, that's a great question. And a
Yeah.
very awkward moment for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys play fiddles, violins,
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're from, we're comfortable with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the questions for you, Michaela, was Brandon submitted this question as well. He had one for each
Okay,
of you.
cool.
He wants to know, how long do you practice the violin?
That's a good question. We started with the Suzuki Method, so it was a definite half hour every day. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're young kids, that's about the attention span. So now it kind of varies. I do like to do a lot of different unique stuff. So, sometimes I'll sit down and play a lot on one day, and then other days it'll just be a few. But usually we stick, especially for learning new stuff, we like to stick to a half hour to an hour a day.
There you go, Brandon.
Yeah.
Now you know. I have something fun to do because I don't get to regularly interview two people. It's normally just me and one other individual. So
Yeah.
what I've done with, I did this with the Ball brothers as well, those of you that have watched that interview. I'm going to do it with you guys as well. I want to do a little sibling, I don't want to say rivalry, but how well do you know your sibling?
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
So I sent you each a message and I said, hey, give me your favorite, and I gave you 3 things to write. And so I hope that y'all didn't share your answers with
No,
each
we
other
didn't.
or talk
We
about
didn't.
it.
Nope.
So I'm gonna see who.
We're competitive, so
It's only
I'm ready for
it's
this.
only 3, so I'm gonna
All
see
right.
who knows the other one better.
Uh-oh.
So I'll start with Michaela, ladies first. Adam's favorite song is.
Oh no. What song?
Can I give her a hint? Guess, and then I'll give you a hint if you're wrong.
Well, maybe.
Is it
you
in the
could-
choir?
is-
Nope.
No.
I wrote it.
Oh, Street of Gold.
That's
Yeah.
correct. So you got it on the second one, so no points
Okay,
allowed for that.
alright.
With the hint.
So,
yeah, with
so
the-
Adam.
Yes.
Michaela's favorite song that y'all do is.
That we do, I would say Pacabella's Canyon and Bee.
Ooh.
No. That may be her favorite, but that's
I
not the
thought
one she
maybe-
told me.
yeah.
What was it?
She said,
You're right. That place in the, or
When
She
we
doesn't
see
even
Christ.
know.
When we see
She
Christ.
doesn't even know I win.
Yes, when we see Christ.
That's a good one. Okay.
So
Yeah,
okay, so that
yeah.
might have been her
Talk
favorite,
about-
but that wasn't the
yeah, I
one
don't
she
know.
said.
Yeah.
Okay, so Michaela, Adam's favorite movie is.
Easy. You know this.
I don't know it.
Ah.
I don't.
It has horses in it.
Oh,
tock,
you can't
tick,
gotta
tock,
stop.
tick,
Okay,
tock.
Man from Snowy River.
Yes, that's correct. You
With
gotta
the
stop
hints,
giving
you
her
give me
hints.
hints.
Well,
I know
we don't
what
want to be here
play.
all day.
I was
Alright.
thinking a car movie.
Adam,
I don't-
Okay.
Michaela's favorite movie is.
The End of Green Gables.
That's correct.
Oh.
Correct. Well done.
I'm
I'm winning.
isn't it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, big time.
So,
Unbelievable.
last question, Michaela. Adam's favorite vacation spot is.
I would say probably the Trump Durrell in Miami is where he went on his honeymoon.
That wasn't what he submitted.
No, I picked a new one. Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, okay,
Phoenix,
that was
Arizona.
my second one. That was,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
It
I
was-
don't
I
think-
almost said that too.
I don't
Yeah.
think you've
Funny.
gotten any correct, Michaela.
No, I sure
I mean,
haven't.
without any help.
So I don't even need to answer this last
So
one.
no, you
just
don't.
for
But we're
fun.
gonna. Yeah.
All right.
Her
Okay.
favorite
All right.
vacation
Can do
spot is.
Paris, France. Okoboji.
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 Okay. There we go.
I've
I've never been there, and I have no
It's
idea.
a lake.
When you guys.
A lake in
Insane.
Iowa, so nobody knows.
His
where
number
it is.
2 was.
Okoboji.
Oh, Okawada Haba. And when I read it, I was like, Oka what?
Oko what?
Okoboji.
Okoboji.
So it's time for the Fouch Zone, the very end of the program. Here we go. You have a certain unspecified amount of time to answer the questions. If you do not get the answer in that amount of time, we go directly to the next question. Both of you can answer at any time. If you stretch out a slinky flat, how long is it? Time. How many people per year are killed by coconuts?
5.
12.
In 1930s, what common condiment was used as medicine? Time.
Coke.
Coke.
And does honey spoil?
Yes.
Yes. No.
And
no.
how many calories by hour do you burn chewing gum?
500. 2.
I don't think y'all got any correct. So,
We're doing more about
okay,
that.
here we go. You had a chance to answer some of them, and some of them
That
you
was
didn't.
fast. You really asked.
If you, I mean, sometimes I mess up because I'm trying to go so fast,
100%.
but I felt like I did pretty good on those.
You did. Yeah.
If you stretch out a slinky flat, how long is it?
5 feet, I'm gonna say, but I didn't.
No,
answer
I have
it.
no idea.
87 feet.
Wow.
What?
How many people per year are killed by coconuts? You said 5,
said-
which is something I would have said.
Yeah.
You said 12. It was 150.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah. In
Those
the
coconuts are
1930s.
1930s,
Climbing the coconut trees.
what common condiment was used as medicine? And you both said Coke, I believe. Well, Coke is not a condiment.
No.
But
I was gonna
it's-
say ketchup. Or
Ketchup is the.
Oh, okay.
Did you cheat? Did you
No,
go ketchup?
she said I was gonna say ketchup, and then she said Coke, so I go Coke. I don't know.
So
I followed
it's
suit,
ketchup.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't. I mean, I like ketchup, but
Yeah.
here, take this. Your
So it's still probably the number one.
It
Yeah.
could be. Does honey spoil? You both said yes. And then
I
you were like,
do
nope.
know it's no.
No,
Yeah.
the answer is no. And
I do
how
know
many
it's no.
calories by hour do you burn chewing gum? And you said
500.
500.
Two.
I would be chewing gum all day long if I could burn 500 calories in an hour.
More than
No,
two.
it's 11.
11.
11.
Okay.
So, guys, thanks so much. That was so much
It was
fun.
fun, yeah.
Appreciate you joining me for the interview.
We're not as smart as we look.
They're not as thick as you dumb they are.
Thanks for
Wait,
having
did
us
that
on.
come out right?
Yeah.
I think
Anyways,
so.
thanks you guys so much for joining us. Where can they find y'all online?
TheBrownsMusic.com, and you can find all our other stuff from there. So
Cool. And we'll put a link in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. Thanks again, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it,
God
Matt.
bless you
Thank
guys.
you.
Catch
Thank
them
you.
out there on the
See you
concert
guys.
sometime, or go visit the Browns
Music.
Music Theater in
Lamar's,
Iowa.
Iowa.
Thanks so much.